Welcome to the Shootin The Que podcast presented by Heath Riles Barbecue with tips, tricks, and an inside look at some of the top pitmasters in the game. Now here's your host, Heath Riles.
Welcome back to another episode of Shootin The Que. Today, I'm joined by my lovely wife, Candace. How you doing today, baby?
I'm doing good.
Well, back from a trade show, back from traveling over to Royal Oak offices for some business. It's been a busy couple of weeks for me. And I know you've been holding the fort down here at home.
I have been at home for sure.
Yes, we've had a lot going on in our life. 100%.
So we're in a new podcast studio. I'm sure everybody can see it looks a little different.
We're still not done with it yet. Still trying to figure out our configuration and setting up cameras on the wall. So we threw something up today to kind of shoot some content. Last week we missed an episode just with me traveling and us moving offices. So we have moved into a brand new office that we purchased back a few months ago and done some remodeling on, and just got in here and still getting situated. I know my desk in my office is still a complete wreck. What about yours?
Yeah, my whole, not just my desk, my whole office is, someone else had to pack my office up for me and moved it. So I don't know where anything is, but I'm working on it.
Well, I'm still sorting out bookcases and trying to figure out, at least I've got all the accounts payable and receivable done. I think that's the main things, right?
Well, and if you're not watching us on YouTube, you might just be listening, but you can always go to YouTube and subscribe so you can see what we're talking about, the difference in here.
That's right. We've got out some black curtains and stuff to kind of help with the sound and the echo and everything like that. We found we got some good proper lighting and got, honestly, a good Rode mic here that I can move and grab, and everything like that. A lot more comfortable setting. So we're trying to get us some chairs in. We're waiting on them to come in now to get rid of this terrible old wood desk here and be a little more comfortable for guests coming in. But I will tell you, we have an episode coming up next week. We've got in studio coming up the Rib Association founders, Dirk and Jody, and can't wait to have them in and discuss what a fast-growing platform that has become. We know that the single-day events have done really well everywhere, but really looking forward to learning more about the Rib Cook-Off Association with him.
Yeah, so you just got back from the Spring Ace Hardware Trade Show. Was the first trip that you went on. It was in San Antonio, Texas this year at the Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center. You were there for my birthday. Happy birthday to me. I was home alone with my child.
Well, I mean, that's the way it falls sometimes, I guess.
So who all went with you this year? I wasn't able to make it. So
me and Mitchell and one of our other employees, Brett Schaffner, went with me, who's actually my cousin. And he done some of the driving for us and logistical stuff, things like that, getting dropped off, picked up. But it was a lot easier. We went out there and kind of carried everything in our van. And really, anytime you get a chance, I like to drive to Texas. I know it's a little bit longer drive than sometimes, but stopping to eat at some of at different places besides just jumping on an airplane and only getting to eat in San Antonio, we ate at so many good places. It made the trip worthwhile, in my opinion.
You know what makes my trip worthwhile? That Delta Sky Lounge. Why I sit there and you're taking 13 hours to get somewhere and I'll be there in 2. Well,
I mean, I can't help it. You can't have the taco shops that we had.
Well, that's what I was going to say. So
hole in the walls.
What kind of food did you have on the way there from Memphis to San Antonio? Were you able to stop anywhere that was great or worth talking about, really?
Well, Brent had never been to Texas, so we kind of detoured to Fort Worth the first night.
That's right.
Stayed downtown Fort Worth.
By the
went down
stockyards.
to the river walk, right? And we go to Cattleman's Steakhouse, which is kind of an iconic place, but they're actually remodeling Cattleman's right now there. And so they've got everything kind of crammed into the bar area. And so there's only like probably 20 seats in there. So they said it was like a 2-hour wait. So we walked down the street trying to get a table somewhere else. And of course, by the time we got back up there, we just decided to eat at Cattleman's. They got us in a little quicker than normal. I think it had been about an hour. And we ate there and we had some mountain oysters. Everybody knows what that is.
I've eaten those there.
They were good. The salad, I thought, was one of the best little salads there, but I was real disappointed in the steak. I don't say that much about places, but the food was not what it usually is at Cattleman's, and I think it was because they were under construction and things like that. I'm not knocking them at all. I would definitely go back there.
So the one we went to before was in Oklahoma. Is that
Oklahoma,
correct?
and it was a great steak.
It was great the time we went, but that's the only time I've ever eaten at Cattleman's.
It was just one of those old school steaks.
Yeah.
There's nothing super fancy about it.
No, it's not a fancy place at all. They have, if I remember correctly, and I don't know if this one was the same, but they literally played like old school country music the whole time you're there, like from the 80s and 90s. And
we were jamming out to Keith Whitley and Waylon and the boys and Willie.
Keith Whitley.
It was it was a grand old time, and I will tell you, the beer was ice cold. It was ice
Even
cold.
if the food wasn't the best, I guess at least the beer was cold.
Oh, it was definitely cold. It flowed well. But we had a good time that night, and I actually seen several fans there at Fort Worth on the street that recognized me, and so was taking some pictures with some fans and things like that. And then we chilled out and then went on in the next day to San Antonio. And we tried to go to Burnt Bean on the way to San Antonio, and the line was only about 1.5 miles long. And they were already selling out of some food by the time we made it there where it's located.
I know you and your impatience. So even if they weren't selling out of food, if the line was that long, you weren't going to wait.
It was terrible long. We've got to get back out there to see him. We have to get back out there to see him, though. We were texting, and it was crazy. Well, it was like 1-something already, and they closed at 3, and with the line that long, we just didn't. I thought we would be there closer to 11, but the driving and all that, and the wind was terrible driving that morning. So, I mean, it did take us a little longer than anticipated to get there. But other than that, we had some great little places around San Antonio, and it was pretty easy to navigate around.
I know you told me about some taco places you went to that had good tacos.
We had several good taco places, and well, let's back up. When we first got there, we went and set up at the trade show and kind of got our booth set up on that Sunday, and then went and checked in our house, and we didn't
enjoyed
get a
the
hotel
Airbnb that I picked out for myself.
And so you got us an Airbnb, and I will tell you, for the money that you save on an Airbnb or a VRBO, we had a pool, a hot tub,
I know,
a movie theater, a great big kitchen, and so we stopped.
I picked good ones.
We went to H-E-B, and we got us some beer, and we got us some food, and we were great in the pool and the hot tub.
Because you said it was a heated pool, too.
It was
right?
a heated pool, heated hot tub. I mean, everything was great.
So then you finally got to the trade show, and it started. So what was there anything different at this trade show versus the other trade shows, or kind of the same
Same thing, same scenario. Just always seeing customers that we've seen before, and of course there were several barbecue people there, in the business just like us. That always a good time hanging out with all the guys is what I like to say. It's always like a big family reunion on that row, seeing everybody, and everybody's just always catching up and seeing what's going on and all that. So it's always a good time seeing everybody. And the show was spring shows tend to be a little slower because they're buying for the fall.
Yeah.
And the fall show, they're always buying for the spring,
which is like prime barbecue season.
Barbecue season. So I thought we had a great spring show, honestly, for the fall.
I know we had a lot bigger booth this time. I didn't get to see that.
It was we had a 20-foot booth. We had it nice looking, looked really nice. Talked to a lot of fans and customers. Everything went really, really well there.
So, are there any new barbecue products or trends coming out that caught your eye while you were there and on like you said, on y'all's row?
No, I mean, a lot of grill manufacturers and things like that are steady just innovating grills and bringing new things to the market. RecTech is coming out with a new grill, which is a pellet grill that cooks like a gas grill. You can actually leave the door open on it, and it's not going to lose heat and temp and not going to overburn. It has 2 fire pots on it, which is the first of its kind. We got to see it in live action cooking a steak in the demo area. I was very impressed with that. I see where Green Egg has got a new CEO, and I was fortunate enough to meet him. Very nice gentleman come and found me. Be glad to connect with him coming up. But Green Egg is really trying to make a huge comeback in the ceramic market. But other than that, it was just business as usual, taking orders and shaking hands and kissing babies.
So anything else in San Antonio though while you were there? Y'all didn't really go. Did you go to the river walk in San Antonio?
No, but we passed the river walk every day. But I will tell you, we did go to one place, and it's a chain place. What was before that? We went to a taco place that was really good. It was, and I don't remember the name of it, but we went to a higher end. I don't want to call it higher end. It wasn't that expensive or anything, but like craft cocktails and things. And it was called Cherokee, if I'm saying that right. Almost like a bird on the coast. It's like a QUI on the end of it, Cherokee.
I have no idea.
And that place was awesome. It was the best fish tacos that I've ever had in my life.
What kind of fish?
Striped bass, believe it or not.
Okay, I just hate when people say it's fish tacos and they're like, "Oh, it's tilapia."
No,
thank you.
This was striped bass, and it was absolutely delicious. But the green chili chicken enchiladas was by far it was smoked. They had a mill scale pit, and this place was kind of a cross between all styles of Texas barbecue and Southwestern flair. So it almost had like a Mexican spin on Central Texas barbecue and traditional Texas barbecue, right? But it was also other stuff on the menu like the fish tacos and things. But we referred several people. Todd and Susie from Hey Grill Hey went there. Fred Robles and Bill Purvis and several of those guys from Old World went there, and everybody was blown away about how good it was.
So did any of these taco Tex-Mex type places, did y'all try any margaritas anywhere?
Well, of course we had a margarita there. It was hand squeezed. It was good. I mean, it's not mine.
Well, the one I had from you this weekend.
That was just a
not
tequila
good.
that we were using. We were out of all the other good tequilas.
Yeah.
That was just the one tequila we were using.
Usually you do make a good margarita, and I had said that I would drink one this weekend, which I normally don't, but I was disappointed.
Well, we're definitely going to break out my margarita recipe coming up for Cinco. And my margarita recipe only has 4 ingredients. I keep it really
I just
basic.
don't do the salt around the rim like y'all do. That's just too much for me. I like the tahini, or I might not be saying it right, but that's how I say it.
I like
Tahini.
salt and tahini, actually.
Mixed or
Yeah, mixed.
I just like the tahini.
bit.
And my sister got me started on that because when we go to her lake house, she makes homemade margaritas, and that was the first time I'd ever had the tahini around the rim like that, and now that's all I really want, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, then we had a chain places where I was getting to called Velvet Taco.
Oh, you did tell me about that.
And it was a fusion of flavors. Like we had I think it was called like a Southern Picnic or something. It had potato salad and rotisserie chicken and fried chicken skin and like some kind of drizzle over the top and maybe something else. But it was a really good taco.
I'm laughing because I remember hearing everybody talking about their stomach being upset, and I'm sitting here thinking, well, gee, I wonder why.
Had a smash
All the
burger
stuff
taco.
you're saying that y'all ate.
It was a Wagyu smash burger taco. Had
there
that. But it was all those tacos were like a hipster type vibe.
Yeah.
Everything was like totally different, and that was a really, really cool place. I thought really, really cool place.
We were supposed to go to a place when I don't even know why I'm bringing it up because I don't remember the name of it, but I had found a unique place there. Remember, it had like antelope and
Oh yeah,
all the weird meats on the menu. I wish I could remember the name of it.
I want to say we stuck with mostly bar type food and taco places and things
Which
like
is not
that.
a bad
right? No,
thing.
everything was excellent. I want to say the food that we had at one place we went was, I'm not going to say the worst. I think Cattleman's was the worst place we visited as far as a steak goes. But the second worst.
You're picky on a steak anyway.
I am very picky.
I'm surprised you even ate a steak out.
We went to this place called Ochos Locos, which is like a Mexican Hooters.
Oh Lord!
And I thought the wings would have been better than they were, truthfully, but they weren't. But everything else good, cheese fries and all that stuff, everything was great. TVs, all that atmosphere was better than Hooters. And of course, Hooters is about to file bankruptcy, so it's not hard.
I love their buffalo shrimp though.
I know
when
Hooters,
it's good.
Hooters back in the day was an iconic restaurant, and they had solid food. And for people
Some
that
of
don't,
them still do,
They
but
do.
none of them that are local to us, unfortunately, do. But when we travel,
it's usually Florida or somewhere like that we find
Georgia,
it.
we found some good ones in Georgia. That one was that in Arkansas or Texas? On the way?
Texas.
I mean, there are a few that are still outstanding, but there's a lot that are not.
Well, and I don't know. Back in the day, we were kind of sponsored by Hooters, and we used to get food from Hooters and things like that. And, man, they'd give us cases of crab legs and shrimp and burger patties. I mean, all their stuff was pretty good no matter what it was. Yeah. We had friends that was general managers and district managers way back when and knew a lot of girls that worked there through school and things like that. But it was I used to judge a swimsuit contest at Hooters here locally.
Well, at our local contest here, the Hooter girls used to come out and be our bartenders.
Yeah.
That was a different team long time ago.
That was way back when, about 20-something years ago, it feels like. But
It
those
wasn't
were
that long
those
ago.
are definitely
I'm not
the
that
glory
old.
days.
Calm down.
Well, I'm not going to say that about myself.
Don't put those years on me.
Yeah, I mean, but it was a great time, and we finally left from there. And the show's over like on the last day at noon.
Thursday it was over.
Thursday at noon, and when they rung that kind of buzzer,
Bell
what they do at
thing they
noon,
do.
it says it's over. It took me 12 minutes to bust down my area and get out the door with the two-wheelers with what I had left. And Brett had pulled the van around, and we were on the road headed home. And we
But
chose.
y'all got in traffic, didn't you?
We got in some heavy traffic. We carried Kevin Lee over by the airport, who's one of our ace kind of, I don't know, brokers is, I guess, is a better word to call it. But we carried him to the airport because he was flying back to Georgia. He had been gone like 3 weeks on the road. He had come from Vegas straight there.
Oh, God.
I know he was wore out. But we come on, and we actually going to Texas, we went through Arkansas.
Yes.
But coming back, we
Came through
decided to
Louisiana.
come through Louisiana and come up. It was a little bit longer of a ride, like 45 minutes to an hour, but we were just trying to get some boudin and eat some Cajun food. And I cannot remember the first name of this place, but we was in a little town. It was something Fish Camp. We went to this oyster bar and grill for dinner before we went to the hotel. And it was almost like a Mexican spin, Southwestern spin on it, and like fresh seafood and stuff. And I will tell you, every dish we had there, nothing was expensive. It was like going to a regular Mexican place with seafood and grilled oysters and stuff. Everything was excellent. Grilled oysters were really good. Just every app we had, everything was delicious there.
Did you have margaritas?
No, we had ice cold Miller Lite is what I had. I think Mitchell was drinking some sort of IPA, and
Some weird crap.
Brett asked for natural light, but they didn't have it. He's a Southern boy at heart.
And then, so that was, y'all ended up staying, where did y'all stay
I can't
that
remember
night?
the name.
You
of the
were
little
still
town.
in Texas, right? You were not in Louisiana that night.
No, we were in Louisiana.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, we made it in Louisiana.
Well, y'all stayed there, stayed the night, and then woke up.
We woke up and then we headed on, and we got to Hammond the next morning around 10:30.
Yeah.
And we went to Ronnie's Boudins in Cracklin and seen my buddy Brad DuPont, and had some awesome lunch there with him. Had some good boudin, some pepper jack stuffed boudin, and of course, I think we ate a pound of chicken cracklins and a pound of pork cracklins. But the chicken cracklins, I wish I had a bag of them right now. They were that good. And for anybody that has not been to Ronnie's Boudins in Cracklin and Hammond and Shreveport, please do yourself a favor. Please go there, give it a try. He ships. Boudin kolaches for breakfast is off the charts.
I like was it the balls that I like?
Yeah, the
so
boudin
much?
balls
with the pepper
jack in them. I mean, everything is solid. If you're lucky enough to be in the area during lunchtime, he does plate lunches, and he's a traditional guy, red beans and rice on Mondays, and it rolls down the hill Cajun from there. But it's really, really good food. But we finally got home, about 4 o'clock on Friday?
Yeah, it was
Something like
later in the afternoon.
And then we pretty much rolled straight to our farmhouse, stayed the weekend, and we come home Sunday night, and I repacked the bag, and then I flew out Monday again at 11.
You went to Royal Oak headquarters.
I did. I had to go to
Georgia.
Roswell, Georgia. They had an innovation meeting, and then we shot some content with them and some things like that at their pavilion, which is absolutely beautiful. We were out there that morning about 9 a.m. and deer just walking all around us out there by the pond.
They always have deer walking around on their campus there.
And it was a beautiful day. I mean, it was a little chilly that morning, but it warmed up to like 78, and it was a stunning day to film over there at the headquarters. So we knocked out some stuff, and then I think I got done and got back to the hotel around 4 that day, 3:30 or 4, and I had another meeting the next day with another company over there the next morning about 8:30 and done that. And I
Well, no,
got
you
home.
were there for two or 3 nights.
3 nights.
Yeah. Because you had 2 full days at Royal Oak that you had stuff you had to do.
Yeah, then I went and had another business meeting from there, and then went on back to the airport and come on home. I was home at noon.
Me and your daughter, who has been asking for you all this time you were gone, picked
I know.
you up.
Picked me up, and she was saying, "Get Dave from the airport."
Yeah,
Airport.
she never been to the airport.
She wanted to go back there. She was mad when
we got
got
home. She said, "I want to go back to airport."
And well, she done already picked me up. Well, no need to go back. I'm sure she's going to be when it's time for her to do
A
fly.
frequent flyer.
She's
when
going
she
to be a
gets
little
to.
bit. I look forward to that. That's going to be fun. As long as we can get her not to outrun you in the terminal, we'll be.
Oh, she's definitely faster than me.
We'll get one of those rope things
A
for her. She'll
leash.
run her out there and then loop her
I always
back.
said
Run her
I
out there and
wouldn't
loop
put
her
my
back.
kid on a leash, but
It was, you always said that, but how do you feel now after she's about to be 3 in a few weeks, a couple weeks? How do you feel? Would you put her on one of those leash things now?
I mean, I don't want to do that, honestly, but I understand why people do it.
Well, I mean, yeah, you better do that or make sure you don't wear flip-flops. One of the two.
Well,
The choice is yours.
maybe I should put her in flip-flops. That'll slow her down a little bit.
I don't think it'll slow it down. It's not
Put her
going to
in
stop
those
her.
Crocs. She got her first pair of Crocs not long ago, and she is not.
She learned how to put them in 4-wheel drive. Robert taught her that to lock it back
2-wheel
on,
versus
where
4-wheel
where they
drive,
wouldn't
yeah.
come off of her when she's in the.
She is a
on the
little
side
better
by
now.
side.
Well, it's not even that. We have a lot of gravel at the farm, and she gets to trying to run on the gravel, and doesn't always work out real good.
Oh, that was a good one. But yeah, over at Royal Oak, had a good time doing that. Actually got to hang out with Deuce Raymond. And for everybody that don't know who that is, that's actually Sweet Baby Ray's protege right there. That's it. That was his dad, Sweet Baby Ray. And so Deuce has Deuce's Wild Barbecue, and he has the Sweet Baby Ray's restaurant and catering in Illinois. And for anybody up around the Chicago area needing any kind of catering or wedding events or fine dining, anything like that, come off and served on site. They do a variety of catering. You should really look Deuce up and give him a try. They've got it going on up there for sure.
So was anybody else there at Royal Oak besides you and
Just
him?
me,
or-
him, and the Barbecue Ninja Craig, and of course some of the upper management, things like that.
Yeah. So anything coming out with Royal Oak you can talk about at all, or not really?
Be on the lookout. I think they're launching now and shipping is the new charcoal and hickory blended pellets, which is charcoal pellets and hickory pellets blended together. They also have a new charcoal that is the supersize with hickory pellets built in it. And I can tell you it's awesome charcoal. I have a pallet here on the way now to start cooking with. We cook with it over there, and I absolutely love the way the smoke that it puts off versus regular charcoal.
So what about food while you were there? Did you have anything good while you were in Georgia?
We went to a couple spots. The last night I was there by myself. I actually went to a place called Salt in downtown Roswell. That was delicious. Everything was great. And I can tell you what I had there. I had some butternut squash ravioli as a vegetarian, little small appetizer. And then I waited a while, drank a couple beers, hung out, and I had their fried chicken, which they're known for, with these garlic whipped mashed potatoes and green beans stacked on top of each other. And it was one of the best country fried or fried chicken dishes that I've had. And I had some in Texas. I had one while I was in Texas, fried chicken.
Y'all did go somewhere for that.
It's making me remember that now. And the one in Texas was great, but that kind of upper scale one at the restaurant Salt in downtown Roswell was delicious. I recommend that restaurant 100% if anybody's in town in Roswell, Georgia, to go by Salt. It was very, very good. But
all right. Well, so then you came home from there, and now we're gearing up for barbecue.
We are.
We're not too, maybe a month away?
I actually just printed out the application for South Haven Spring Fest today.
Yeah.
For us to do a trial run there coming up before Memphis in May. So we got it filled out. Got to get you to cut the check for that today and get it to Miss Christie. And other than that, just is starting to check everything off of our list for Memphis in May, and supply wise, and we're getting stuff ordered that we need, I know, and getting some more Huggies ordered and cups and different things like that to pass out. But just getting all that ready, and it'll be time. I've already cleaned my big pit, and it's being waxed this week.
I was going to say, did you clean it?
No, I did not. I mean,
so.
It really just had some dust on it. We sprayed it off, but now it's fixing to get a hand wax. And my detail guy is doing the hand wax on that. So it should look very good for Memphis in May and things like that. But other than that, just kind of getting ready for baseball season to kick off. You know, the Final Four brackets, or not Final Four, the brackets fixing to drop today for basketball. It's been rolling on. So getting down, see who's going to end up playing in the Final Four and Sweet 16, all that kind of stuff, Elite 8. So that's when I really start watching basketball. When it gets down to about the 32 seed, that's when I really start watching. I glance at it now. But really just gearing up for March Madness, and rolling in April, we start thinking about Springfest. And, of course, there comes Memphis in May.
Easter's in there.
After Memphis in May, we have Memorial Day roll up. And
so you forgot about Easter.
And
then Mother's Day.
Well, I mean.
And then you'll have Father's Day later.
Yeah, Father's Day in June. So I guess I need to go shopping for Mother's Day and get that on my list, huh? We'll see. I'll have
Still waiting on a birthday gift.
Oh, you got it. Still waiting on a birthday gift. Oh, Lordy.
So you've been filming at the farm for a while now, still trying to get all of that situated. We're getting the patio almost there.
We just
really
got our
close.
patio furniture in, some of it, and we're working on hanging up some signage now and just getting things finished. But, yeah, hopefully we'll have everything finished up within the next 4 to 6 weeks, I hope, fully. That is my goal. It's kind of hard it's not like you're moving from one house to another.
You're just creating a whole new one.
Trying to create a whole new setting, what we're doing there. And so it's been kind of hard trying to find everything that we like and to fit the style that we're going for, but we're getting there.
So what is one thing at that outdoor kitchen specifically that you're most excited about there?
Just the space, honestly. I built a 40 by 40 outdoor kitchen, and it has a big, huge bar at it. And you know, we're going to be filming on the inside to kind of start the scenes and do all that, but I've got enough room for a lot of my grills on the inside where the weather's not going to affect me so much. So I have big openings of windows and exhaust fans, but, you know, before I had huge screens and the weather, I was affected by the weather.
Yeah.
And so now I feel like no matter if it's blowing rain, I can still get out there and put something on a pit if I need to, no matter what. Yeah. I might just have to void one side or the other depending on if the rain's blowing in, but the patio's so big, you can always kind of get where a structure needs to be safe with to film on it.
So is there anything else new out there that you think you'll be able to do that you haven't done before with all, you know, eventually I'm going to build a brick pit. I would like to showcase that, like cooking a old school hog on one. But other than that, I think it's just highlighting different recipes on different grills. We've had some new grill manufacturers
kind of reach out and send us some grills. We've got a master built on the way, a char griller. We just got in a few new Webers, the Rectex. We've got a brand new Traeger that we're firing up and burning in. We've got a Green Mountain grill on the way. We have a Z grill on the way. So we're going to kind of see a lot of these grills, how good they cook to what we've been cooking on now. And I think no matter which one you choose, you're probably going to wind up putting off a really good product at the end of the day. I think it's just in how you take care of that product. You know, I see a lot of people complain about grills, companies, and things like that. Well, if you don't clean your grills and you don't do the proper maintenance and do everything you're supposed to do, they're not going to run efficiently. So I think if you do all that kind of stuff, all the grill manufacturers put out a solid product. And I would like to see how they kind of, all of them kind of work. I'm kind of curious myself doing what we do for a living. So kind of looking forward to that.
Yeah. Well, one more thing coming up. Bobby T's coming back soon.
He is. Bobby T will be in town next week. Going to come in and grab another podcast with him. Him and Mo is in Atlanta doing some
coming
classes.
Up, not yet.
And Bob's going to come over, I think, and stay when he leaves Atlanta, and show us kind of how to make some more styles of pizza and other things out of some of his doughs besides a regular pizza, like making focaccia bread and things like that. New York style pizza, really thin dough. And a Detroit style in a pan with cheese all around the crust. And so he said it just depends on how you mix it, of how you can make the dough turn out. So I was like, hey, when you're back in town, I want to know this. Let's teach me how to do this. So the pizza game is new to me. Yeah, I can make a pizza and all that, a Neapolitan style, but I want to see the other styles and things like that. You know, I don't want to say I'm a perfectionist or a purist or anything like that. I'm just like good food. And I got called a chef yesterday on Facebook by somebody. And I'm not going to say that it irritated me, but I'm not a chef. I'm not. Those guys go to culinary school, and I respect the hell out of what they do and what they learn. I've just honed my skills cooking in contests, and I'm not a 4-meat pony. You know what I mean? Like some of these barbecue guys.
Well, some people may not have the privilege to know. I mean, we know some chefs and know people like yourself and people who do similar things. And if you ever are in a kitchen with these people side by side, you will definitely see the difference, is all I can say. A chef versus Heath. I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just, there is a huge difference.
There is.
When someone is a classic trained chef versus what you guys do.
That's right.
They both require a lot of work.
I'm self-taught of everything I've learned.
It's like a different mind process for it, I think, is the best way to try to describe it. I don't know. It's just very different.
And preparation, techniques.
Yes.
I mean,
organization.
We're me. I don't probably have I don't have the proper techniques on some things I do, and they turn out really well. Could I study them and hone in a little bit more? Yeah. But I'm the type of guy that just does stuff off a whim. When I'm cooking in the kitchen for myself and you know what I mean? We try to create new flavors and different dishes and things like that. Then I may go do some research on and take it a little bit further.
Yeah.
Right? But seeing, especially like cooking in the kitchen with my buddy France, you know, when he comes down and we open a bottle of wine and start, what's in the fridge, and let's do this and let's do that and let's do this. And it just is so much more, I don't know, refined cooking, just hanging out cooking like that versus cooking for a meal to eat for people.
It is very different. I don't know how to describe it. It's just,
I know. It's just hanging around the kitchen and doing that, and the stories that are being told, the camaraderie, and just the way that food brings people together in general. It is a lot different than just.
Well, and I think it's funny using France as an example to see you in France, because he'll watch the way that you do things and he kind of studies it, and he's like, well, I wouldn't have done it that way, but I do understand why you did it that way. So it's kind of funny to watch y'all go back and forth, because he understands why you do it that way, but he's like, well, I wouldn't have done it that way, but I see the purpose of doing it that way.
And some of his cooking techniques are just so cool, I guess is the way to do it. You know, I don't know. Like I said, he's a classically trained chef, though. And so when you cook with somebody like that, and Tuffy is too.
Yes.
And so hanging out with people like that, to hanging out to somebody that was self-taught, it's a lot different in the kitchen.
France had to teach me how to use our stove that we bought because it's
that
like
stove was kind of hard
a
until you really
professional version, and I didn't know how to use it. I still don't have. France, can you please come back and set the time on it because the power went out?
I can do that. I can do that.
You didn't do it before. My dad had to do it.
Yeah, but I don't pay attention to it. I got to watch. I read to watch.
Oh, it drives me crazy
Well,
when it's not right.
We've just been traveling a lot, been trying to catch up. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of just kind of listen to everything we've got coming up and everything we just got done doing. We'll kind of get back to our regular podcast next week with Dirk and Jody and kicking off like that. And we'll see y'all next week on another episode of Shootin The Que.
If you have any comments or suggestions for future episodes, please feel free to reach out to us on our social media channels. Leave us a review if you've enjoyed the show. And until next time, keep shooting the Que.